Have you ever come out of a conversation with a smile on your face, but with your heart in pieces, as if you had been struck by something invisible, as if they had hurt you and still expect you to thank them for it? Have you ever laughed at a joke that seemed harmless, but left a bitter taste in the depths of your soul? Those jokes that touch precisely what hurts you the most, and when you react here, "Wow, it was just a joke. Are you sensitive today, huh?" But is it really? Or is it that behind the light laughter there is a dark message, a poisoned criticism that did not have the courage to show himself? Think about it. Who makes fun of your insecurities is really playing or testing the limits of how much you accept to be hurt in the name of good living? Sarcasm is a polished weapon. It shines, looks elegant, but cuts. Carl Jung would call it a manifestation of the shadow, that part of us that denies our own hostility and projects it on the other, masked with humor. And the scariest, it is that often who more hurts with sarcasm thinks he is being kind. Maybe you have already felt this. A friend who always plays with your body, with your choices, with your lines, always with a smile on his face, but a look that does not smile together. And the body feels it. Intuition perceives it. You laugh on the outside, but something inside of you shrinks. How many times have you ignored this signal? How many times have you transformed your own pain into exaggeration just to continue being accepted? Beware of those who hurt you and then call you fragile. Sometimes the poison comes disguised as laughter. Have you noticed how some people forget just what is important to you? They don't miss an appointment except when it's your birthday. They encourage you, but with advice that takes you straight to the hole. Coincidence? Or is something deeper acting from behind? Subtle sabotages are like small cracks in glass, almost invisible at first, but over time, everything falls apart. It is that invitation that never arrives, that message that is never answered, or the classic, "I was just trying to help," after directing you to a choice that clearly wasn't good for you. And the most disturbing, this sabotage rarely comes from who you expect. It often comes from those who are close, who call themselves friends, who present themselves as support, but deep down carries a small dose of envy, competition, or even repressed anger. According to Jung, what is not recognized in us acts. The unintegrated shadow expresses itself in disguised acts, and sabotage is one of its favorite modes. Have you noticed how some people hope that you go well but not better than them? As who should propel you, actually hold your rope only enough so that you do not notice it is being pulled back. Pay attention. Not every failure is your fault. Not all help comes from a clean place. Intuition knows. She whispers. When something is not right, the question is, are you listening? Have you ever shared an achievement with someone and felt the environment change? That warm energy, that short smile, a congratulations said with the lips but not with the eyes. You felt but doubted yourself. Am I exaggerating? Maybe it's something in my head, isn't it? Sometimes what you perceive is real, it's just hidden. Because there is a form of competition that does not declare itself, but operates in silence. It is subtle. You talk about a new project, and out of nowhere the person starts listing everything they have already done, as if they needed to prove something. You talk about a new relationship, and she releases a, hope it works this time, right? With a tone that sounds more like warning than support. Jung would say that we are dealing with a threatened ego, an ego that sees the brightness of the other as a mirror of its own shadows. Then, instead of celebrating, compare. Instead of being inspired, dispute. But the field of silent competition is treacherous, because no one admits that they are playing. The rivalry hides behind limited praise, questions with double meaning, stories where curiously the other always comes out on top. And this is undermining something precious, your peace. You start to trim yourself, talking less. Hiding your victories so as not to bother. But stop and reflect. Why do you need to dim your light so as not to obscure those who never light their own? You are not responsible for the discomfort that your growth causes in those who are not ready to grow together. Trust. Your intuition is not exaggerating. It is showing you who competes with you while pretending to be on your side. Has it ever happened that you vent with someone and go out feeling even more alone? You told something important, opened your heart, and the answer came cold, generic, almost robotic. Ah, it will pass. Everyone goes through this. You need to be stronger. Words that sound like support but do not touch anything. On the outside, empathy. Inside, total absence. It's like trying to warm yourself next to a fireplace painted on the wall. Beautiful to look at, but unable to provide warmth. This is the superficial support, the kind of presence that is, but is not. People who say they are available, but disappear when you need them most. They are silent in the face of your pain. They change the subject when you show their vulnerability. They give hasty advice, but do not offer listening. And the most subtle, they do it by keeping the appearance of people good, mature, spiritual. Jung would remind us that the denial of pain is often a reflection of one's own inability to deal with internal pain. Who runs away from his own shadow does not know what to do with the shadow of others. So he wears a mask of neutrality. Call it focus on the positive. But in practice it gives up, and you feel. Even without words, the body knows when there is no real presence on the other side. And it hurts. It hurts to realize that not every company is connection. It hurts to find out that the support they promised you was just a facade. But this pain is an alert. She teaches you not to beg for presence where there is only appearance. Because who is really with you do not need to say much. Just stay. Have you ever heard someone say, "I'm just looking out for you," but inside you felt like you were being watched? It's subtle. It comes in the form of advice, good intentions, phrases like, "I don't know if this is the best for you. I just want to protect you. If it were me, I wouldn't do that." But notice, this care is accompanied by guilt, of doubt, of fear of making mistakes, because it is not careful, it is control, control dressed in affection, concern that does not welcome, only limits. People like this appear as guides, but gradually they see fences, and the more you try to expand, the more they try to contain you. You change something in your life, and they react with silence. Make a brave decision and hear, "Are you sure? I only want your good." But behind this phrase, there is a hidden message. Do what I think is right, or you will get hurt. Jung would call it a shadow cast on the other. Inner fears disguised as rational advice, unresolved traumas that impose themselves as protection, and then you, without realizing it, begin to doubt your own compass, begins to ask for permission to live, begins to think that freedom is synonymous with risk, and that security only exists in obedience. But beware. Not every caregiver wants your growth. Some only feel safe when you remain small, predictable, easy to control. Then reflect, does this care strengthen you or paralyze you? He listens to you or just directs you, because who really cares offers space. Who loves, sustains, does not suffocate. Have you ever had that strange feeling that they are talking about you, even without proof? As if the air changes when you enter an environment. As if laughs that were once light, now they hide something. And then a comment comes to you, a sentence cut, a distorted opinion, a judgment said without wanting, and you realize what should be said in front of you is being spread behind your back. But why? Why does someone who says he is your friend or ally, instead of talking to you, choose to criticize you when you can't defend yourself? The answer is in the shadows. Jung said, "Everything that bothers in the other can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. But not everyone is ready to look inside. So instead of dealing with the annoyance, they spread it. Turn their insecurity into gossip about you. Turn their own frustration into discredit of your image. It is easier to weaken you behind your back than to face you. And the most dangerous, these criticisms come disguised as concern. It's not gossip, it's just a touch. I said because I care about her. He is losing himself, someone needed to say. But the goal is not to help. It is undermining your reputation little by little until you yourself begin to doubt who you are. So pay attention to the leaks in what comes by chance, in the distorted versions of your story that come to life without you knowing. This is not innocent error, it's disguised intent, and the truth is simple. Who talks about you behind your back is no longer by your side. Have you ever shared a win with someone and felt the environment become strange, almost silent? That promotion, that new love, that project that worked out, and on the other side, a warm reaction, a nice without brightness, a congratulations that lasts less than a blink of an eye. You expect enthusiasm and receive indifference. Or worse, a sudden change of subject, a disguised comparison, a subtle comment that diminishes what for you was great. And it hurts. Because the absence of celebration of those we love hurts more than 1,000 criticisms. But why does this happen? Because his growth, unintentionally, exposes what the other has not yet had the courage to face. Its light activates his shadow. That which we deny in ourselves appears in the other as destiny. That is, when someone cannot vibrate with your joy, it is because deep down he is at war with his own stagnation. It's hard to accept, but not everyone really supports you. Some hope you almost get it, for you to improve but not more than them, for you to win, but only if you don't threaten their place. And that's not in words. Feel the tone. Pause, in the way that the look does not accompany the smile. And you start to ask yourself, do I think too much of myself? Did I overdo it in sharing this? No, you're only surrounded by those who don't know how to celebrate, and know who does not vibrate with your achievements will hardly sustain you in the falls. Has anyone ever said, it's okay, but the way she looks at you tells you otherwise? The mouth says one thing, the body another. And as much as you try to rationalize, something inside you perceive. There is a tension in the air, a forced smile, a look that weighs even in silence. It is the language of the body, the truth that flows between the lines, a slight turn of eyes when you talk about yourself, crossed arms in delicate moments, a colder, almost imperceptible tone when you are happy. These signs are small, but they say a lot, because the body does not lie. While the mind can rehearse words, the body reveals intentions. Carl Jung would say that the unrepressed shadow seeks out, and the body is one of the first doors it finds. Therefore, when someone carries envy, anger, or hidden competition, these emotions end up flowing through micro-expressions. A lip that wriggles, a posture that closes, a breath that changes just to hear your name. And sometimes you feel it before you even understand. You come out of a date with a headache. You feel a strange tiredness after a conversation. You have that feeling of having said something wrong, even without knowing what. Maybe you didn't say anything wrong. Maybe he just realized, without realizing, what the other was trying to hide, even from himself. And here's the key point. Pay attention to words, yes, but trust what the body picks up. Because your intuition reads what the mind tries to ignore. You already know. You always knew. You just needed to remember to hear what your body and the bodies of others has been saying for a long time. Now that you have seen the signs, stop and think. How many times did you feel all this but shut up? How many times have you ignored your own discomfort in the name of peace, education, fear of appearing exaggerated? The truth is that the body felt before the mind understood. Your intuition tried to warn, but you learned to doubt it. And this is how we get away from ourselves. Calling friendship what sucks us. Calling care what controls us. calling support what only appears when we are down. But now, something has changed. You saw the shadow, and once seen, it can no longer be ignored. Carl Jung said, "Becoming aware of the shadow is an act of courage, but also the beginning of true freedom." Because seeing these signs is not about becoming paranoid, it's about becoming free. Free to recognize who really walks with you and who just walks by your side for convenience. Free to trust your perception, honor what you feel, and choose relationships where there is real exchange, genuine presence, mutual growth. You no longer have to adapt to discomfort. You no longer need to beg for respect, for support, for truth. You just need to listen again who always knew the answer, you. And now, tell me, how many times your intuition cried but you kept silent? How many times did you notice the shadow in the other and pretend that you did not see? If this text touched something in there, if any part of it reminded you of situations that you lived or are living, do not keep only for yourself. Leave in the comments which section has impacted you most. Like, share with those who need to hear this, and especially, no longer ignore what your body already knows. Your perception is your power. Are you ready to start trusting her? See you in the next video.